Good evening. You tuned in to the Sunday night CPAC version of the Melanated Rebel News Network, broadcasting to you live out of the beautiful and historic city of Charleston, South Carolina. Before I get started this evening, I got some announcements that I would like to make and some special thank yous. We got our merchandise already rising up. We also have bumper stickers that are already made that I'm going to be sending out to you guys this week so you can advertise the Melanated Rebel News Network and let your friends, family, and other fellow patriots know about what's going on. I want to say what's up to Dennis Kahn. I want to thank you for finding me so far in the chat room. Dennis Kahn was like, where is Ricky Manor? I wish I had had your email so I could have let you know what was going on. What's going on, Fraser, over there on Twitch? What's going on, Miss Rocket Man, Rocky Matrix? What's up, Melissa Foster? And yes, I want to give my special thank yous and all that good stuff real quick. I want to thank Melissa Foster of M Foster Creations for building that beautiful website that we got going on, because we're going to need our own platform because our options are running low. Even on the account that I created for TikTok last night, they shadow banned me. And I figured out what the secret is, but we're going to get into that in just a minute. But if you guys want to reach us in the future and want to know where we are, we're not going anywhere. If you can't find me on YouTube, this is where you can find me, www.themelanatedrebelnewsnetwork.com. There you will be able to pick up on merch, see the glossary of things that I talk about and how I describe things and why I think the way that I think. So the only thing you got to do is just check out the glossary and see the terms that I use. And you might, guys, some of you that may be in disagreements with me might be in agreements with me by the time we're all said and done. Also on the Melanated Rebel News Network, you will see the latest articles, the news stories that I will produce by each day. So, yeah, sign up for that. Also, if you're a member of my Patreon, you're going to also be able to get access to special stuff that isn't privy to just anybody. So, yes, we're not going through YouTube for monetization. No. We keep everything in-house, baby. This is your platform here. The Melanated Rebel News Network. Why are we going to go to YouTube and ask them and TikTok and ask them for permission when we have our own Patriot-sponsored website that we can speak on? So, yes, Melissa Foster, you rock. You are it. Also, I want to give a special shout out to Rod Dawson. You can find him at vid.ancreport.com. Also, he has a Twitter-like setup called social.ancreport.com. Set yourself up for that today. And let's get to it. Yes, President Trump is speaking at CPAC. See, I want to let the man get his speech on before I speak on what he's speaking on. But we're going to have some fun today. We're going to have a little bit of fun today because actually, yesterday, I ran across a beautiful jewel. I ran across a beautiful jewel for you guys. Now, before I get started, I want to entertain you guys with a little something real quick. Today is going to be a teaser. Tomorrow, we're going to go to work. That's right. Tomorrow's Monday, the beginning of the week. Us Patriots are going to go to work. I know I am. And how I'm going to go to work? We're going to call out this Dr. Rachel Levine. We're going to talk about this Equality Act from Congress, the website that Rocket Man Rocky Matrix sent to me. We're going to go into detail on this one. Now, with that being said, there's only so much I can say on YouTube. So I'm not going to keep you guys long today because I want to spend some time with my old lady. It's the weekend. So before I go spend some time with my old lady, I'm just going to give you a teaser of what we're going to be talking about this week. If you think you're going to get some fruit tonight, you're going to get the whole meal all week long. This is going to be for your mental nutrition. First things first, before I get started, we're just going to have some fun for shits and giggles. or what I say for shiggles, with this beautiful, delicate jewel I ran across yesterday. This communist broadcaster who actually shared some of my content on her page. So I got to be a guy who returns favors. So let's return the favor. I ran across this woman by the name of Cyberdemon 531.
Goddamn right. So I want to remind.
So let's talk about this woman real quick. Now I started following her last summer during the whole Black Lives Matter brouhaha. Needless to say, she makes a lot of sense on some things, but then she just goes far radical. And when I say far radical, this is going to build up to what we're going to be talking about this week. She says, the title of this one is OMG, what a cute girl. She does news and is super smart. Okay. Now, the name Cyberdemon, she, I love how she, puts her stuff up there. Send me money to help me eat tomorrow. So there's her PayPal, her Cash App, her Patreon. I actually talked to her for a few minutes in their little bullshit site. So, yeah, it was funny because when we got to talking yesterday, she had some choice words for me. She told me that most of your Antifa people are black. Does this mean you hate black people? Well, damn. In that regards, most of your skinheads and Klansmen are white. Does this bitch hate her own people? See, I hate when somebody say that I have to love everything about my race or love everybody in the race. See, everybody's got trash in their race. But this bitch talks about being poor and how people like me kiss up to the bakers, right? So, with that being fucking said, I only kiss up to the people who got the money. I ain't kissing up to these motherfuckers. They're poor. Why the fuck I'm gonna kiss up to a poor motherfucker? What can a poor motherfucker do for me? You sitting up here asking for money so you can eat tomorrow. So is the problem is you got a problem with conservatives, or do you got a problem with motherfuckers saying that you ain't got money to eat tomorrow? There's no such thing as a free lunch, but I'm gonna actually blow her picture up though, because I think the little communist chick is kind of unique. So with that being said, she can't say I never done anything for her. Her name is a Cyberdemon. And let's give her the, what's the word I'm looking for? Let's give her the fame she wants. So let's go ahead and do that for her. Hey, Cyberdemon, how you doing? If you want to, you can reach in your pocket and give her some food to eat tomorrow. So, with that being said, that's all we're going to talk about that. But let's now let's go into what her argument was, because this is some of the things we're going to talk about this week.
Remind everyone that today is Sunneth Day, motherfucking ass son of a bitch and Reneth Day. Right now, my plan is to start the stream at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Blah, 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 blah.
Well, I don't currently have the transgender official. Oh my god. Yo, the YouTube fucking sticker shit is so cringe. Oh my god.
So she says that Rand Paul tried to bully a transgender. Is this called bullying, what we're about to see here? Because I want you guys to hear her take on this, because we were supposed to debate today.
Anyway.
Condemned. Genital mutilation has been condemned by the...
Bad this shit is, and anyway, and I somehow missed this, but a couple days ago, there was a hearing or a confirmation session for what will be, I believe, the highest ranking transgender official in the U.S. government for the deputy health secretary or something like that.
What a fucking joke.
Paul, whom is garbage, and if you like Rand Paul, I'm sorry, you're probably garbage. But Rand Paul had some really bizarre...
I'm garbage, but I can afford to eat tomorrow.
And I just really wanted to highlight how how bad this shit is, and I wanted to clear up any misconceptions. And I haven't seen this clip yet. I saw like a snippet, and then someone, was telling me it's like, this is really bad.
I want you to hear how these people actually think. They're evil.
Genital mutilation has been nearly universally condemned. Genital mutilation has been condemned by the WHO.
So I want to keep in mind, this guy is conflating genital mutilation with being trans. So in order to be trans, you need to mutilate your genitals. And
Now y'all see how much this shit's making, right? How much sense this shit's making. In order to be trans, you have to mutilate your genitals. Well, what else you call it when you deface what God gave you? That's not a surgical procedure. What else do you call that? I mean, if it's not is there a surgically correct way to cut your dick off or fold your dick in and make yourself have a clit when God gave you a penis? Somebody tell me if there's a correct way to correct nature's mistake. You motherfuckers act like being born a man or being born a woman coming straight out the womb is like some sort of mental retardation. Like it's a birth defect. But I like my birth defect because I like to take a shower with it. I like to lather it up. My dick is the cleanest part of my motherfucking body. So it's not a birth defect. If it is a birth defect, then damn it, that's the best birth defect that you can have. Don't raise money to save me. I'm good. Let's finish.
This guy's dumb fuck brain. Also, I wonder, does Rand Paul support circumcision? Because I've got news for you. Circumcision is genital mutilation. So I just wanted to point that out. Unless, can someone, in the chat look up what Rand Paul has to say on genital mutilation in the terms of circumcision?
Circumcision is genital mutilation? I agree and disagree. But, when people circumcise, they are less apt to have diseases. And when people circumcise, they smell better because that shit be funky as hell if you don't circumcise your Peter. I'm sorry. But still, you can't call it. There's a difference between grooming your penis, grooming your dick, grooming your yank, than just cutting the shit off saying, you know what, God, you made a fucking mistake. Fuck you. I'ma fix this. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Because I'm curious if his opinions are consistent. I'm curious, does Rand Paul have kids? Has he had his kids circumcised? I wonder. Anyway, let's go on.
United Nations Children.
And Foster, you, Melissa, you freak. You freak. Jesse's birth defect is my merry-go-round. Hey, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's not a birth defect. You remember people used to tell you when you was a kid, don't play with that, boy? Don't play with that. Jesse can tell you what I'm talking about. Rocket Man can tell you this too. You get caught jacking off and your parents will be like, stop playing with that. It's gonna fall off. And you know what I did? It felt so damn good. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to play with it till it falls off. God damn it. Well, let's finish hear what this communist clit talks about. Let's go.
Genital mutilation is recognized internationally as a violation of human rights. Genital mutilation is considered...
Yet, it is still common practice in the United States to circumcise children.
Particularly egregious.
How the fuck are you still comparing circumcision with genital mutilation? Look, when you cut that skin off the dick, you can still create babies. You can still have fun with your fuck stick. There's a difference between, the best way I can put it, because I like cars so much, there's a difference between tuning up your hot rod or trading the car in for another one. So if you're a Camaro guy and you trade that motherfucker in for a Ford Mustang, then you no longer have a Camaro. You're no longer a Chevrolet man. You are now a Ford, right? So there's a difference between tuning up your hot rod and trading the motherfucker in. At the end of the day, you still want to keep your hot rod, right? I love my hot rod, by the way. No pun intended.
WHO notes, it is nearly always carried out on minors and is a violation of the rights of children. Most genital mutilation is not typically performed by force, but as WHO notes, that by social convention, social norm, the social pressure to conform, to do what others do and have been doing, as well as the need to be accepted socially and the fear of being rejected by the community. American culture is now normalizing the idea that minors can be given hormones to prevent their biological development of their secondary sexual characteristics. Dr. Levine, you have supported both allowing minors to be given hormone blockers to
Now again, Rand Paul is conflating genital mutilation, which is often done on newborns and those like under the age of 13, with minors, which is anyone under the age of 18. So in his brain, right, he is conflating and purposefully obfuscating the differences between being 1 month old and being, 17 years old. Like, the idea that there's no difference in development and your ability to think critically.
So when do motherfuckers go through puberty at 18? So you got, when you're dealing with these goddamn communist libtards, you got to listen to detail. Because if you don't, they will win an argument. You got to listen to detail and you got to keep your cool. When do motherfuckers go through puberty at 18? Somebody tell me. When do somebody go through puberty at 18? And he's not conflating any goddamn thing. Not a goddamn thing. Now, I want you guys to take a look at that little flag in our background. Fuck Antifa. This right here, black people, is what your enemy looks like. This is white supremacy at its finest. You don't believe me? What friend of yours tells you to become a bitch, encourages you to become a bitch, encourage you as an alpha male? You're a fucking lion and she's trying to turn you into a house cat. No friend of mine does no shit like that. And if they encourage some shit like that, they won't be a friend of mine for long.
Self-identify between the age of 1 month and 17 years. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous, but let's go on.
Prevent them from going through puberty, as well as surgical destruction of a minor's genitalia. What? Like surgical mutilation or...
Again, he's surgical destruction. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And again, does Rand Paul support or is he opposed to circumcision?
See, they keep throwing that circumcision up, but I'm about to hit her with the rope-a-dope here in a minute. She about to get hit with that rope-a-dope, but y'all wait for it. Here it comes.
I'm curious.
Hormonal interruption of puberty can permanently alter and prevent secondary sexual characteristics. The American College of Pediatricians reports that 80 to 95% of prepubertal children with gender dysphoria will experience resolution by late adolescence if not exposed to medical intervention and social affirmation. Dr. Levine, do you believe that minors are capable of making such a life-changing decision as changing one's sex?
Well, Senator, thank you for your interest in this question.
This bitch look like a fucking sketch off South Park. This bitch looks like fucking Chris Farley with a goddamn wig on. That's not even a bitch. That's still a man at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. That's still a motherfucking dude. And that's the highest level of health in this country. So now we got two problems with this real quick before we even go further. One, this is an overweight bitch. If she wants to be, if it wants to be a bitch, we're just gonna call it a bitch. It's overweight. So what the fuck can anybody that's overweight tell you about, I don't know, health? I could hold that position better. Joe Biden. I know I'm a fucking conservative, but I'm more fit for that position. Literally. I bet this bitch right now couldn't give us fucking 40 push-ups, 12 jumping jacks, just 12, without running out of breath. Secondly, health, damn sure ain't mental health. Look at this motherfucker here. Look at this ugly bitch. That's a fucking dude at the end of the day. So this is a fat man dressed up as a woman. This was wanting to use the bathroom with your kids. Get the fuck out of here. Let's finish.
Transgender medicine is a very complex and nuanced field with robust research and standards of care that have been developed. And if I am fortunate enough to be confirmed as the Assistant Secretary of Health, I would look forward to working with you and your office and coming to your office.
I'm sorry, like the idea.
She didn't answer it didn't answer the question. But let's hear how this communist sticks up for the bitch. See, you gotta understand, these feminists, they hate men. They hate us with a gut passion. They hate everything about us. They feel that they can do shit on their own. And you know what we ought to start doing? Listen, brothers, when y'all hear sisters talking that way, or y'all hear, and white people, y'all hear y'all women talking that way, leave them the fuck alone. Let them be. Take your assets out the bank and let them do what they do. And please, for the love of God, don't have kids with them. Or else they'll turn your little boys into bitches and your little girls into fucking dudes. Come on.
That she has to like sit here and say, "I respect you, good sir." I mean, Jesus Christ.
But she didn't answer the question.
Christ. You see those little water bottles? If I were in her position, I would take those water bottles and chuck it at that guy's goofball fuckface head.
Discussing.
That's what they do. You just heard how they say. See, the left is very violent, but this is the party that's all for acceptance. This is the party that's all. The only way they will accept you is if you're a freak show just like them. Look at this person's background. Look at the background in their house. And she's on her page asking for food to eat tomorrow. What about this? Get a job tomorrow. I mean, you operate all these high, what I would call complicated internet tools. Get a job.
In the particulars of the standards of care for transgender medicine.
The specific question was about minors. Let's be a little more specific since you evaded the question. Do you support the government intervening to override the parent's consent to give a child puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and/or amputation surgery of breasts and genitalia?
Now, again, what the procedure or whatever he's trying to describe is a lot more complex than what he's making it out to be. He's trying to act like 8-year-olds are walking into the dentist's office and secretly getting their fucking genitals mutilated or desecrated or destroyed. What really happens, right, the actual process of what we're discussing here is that, let's say you're 14 years old, right, and for the last 3 years you've questioned your gender identity and you want to identify as a gender you were not assigned at birth. Well, there's an option for you in order to grow and develop, in order to give yourself time, your body time, and to understand and process these issues. You can be on puberty blockers, right? This is not a permanent, like, undevelopment, right? No one's going to be on puberty blockers for the rest of their lives. And also, these children, right, as he's trying to say, these teenagers, 14, 13, 15, 16-year-olds, right, are often only given puberty blockers, not cross-sex hormones. The idea that you would give someone cross-sex hormones before you finally discovered whether or not they truly identify as trans.
Puberty blockers? I'm going to let her finish before I eat this up.
Is ridiculous, right? But he's conflating all of these things. He's muddying the waters, and it's just disgusting. Again, the idea of puberty blockers is to, again, buy you time so that, let's say you're 14, you could become 15 and 16, your body will not develop in a certain way that might make you dysphoric, and then you can kind of have that time to be in, say, therapy, or to process yourself and identify with what you choose at the age of, say, 16 or 17. And if you choose to get off of puberty blockers, that's great. That's a choice. And that choice should be allowed to be given to people. And if you choose to say, yes, I identify as trans and I want to go about the process, you should be allowed to do that. Again, we are feeding, I just want to remind everyone, we feed children sugar every single day that permanently stunts the development of their brains, right?
Now you give a fuck about sugar? What the fuck does sugar have to do with going in and fucking with somebody's biology? Somebody tell me, what the fuck does sugar have to do with that? They try to put up a weak ass argument to have sexual access to your children. Real talk. This is what's happening right now in our country. See, if I'd have... Let me finish. I'm going to let her finish. And we're going to eat this up. Oh, shit. Let's finish this up.
The pharmaceutical industry gives children a lot of different kind of medication, like antidepressants and all this other stuff. So,
which you shouldn't be taking either.
Specifically opposed to giving child medicine or drugs in any capacity, which I don't see Rand Paul going out there trying to ban sugary cereals or trying to ban pharmaceuticals on kids in general. He's only targeting trans kids because it's all about the culture war. Ugh, trans people are icky. I need to
well, they are.
Attack people that are minorities. That's what he's doing.
Oh, there they go again with that minority word.
Said, I'm opposed to circumcision.
Minority.
The United States is one of the...
See, that's what they mean with minorities, black people. Melanated people, that's what they mean with minorities. It just doesn't mean you. It means transgender, gay, whatever. It don't mean you. No, you share that with a whole lot of people. There's nothing direct that aimed specifically for you. But go ask Joe Biden for something specifically for you. Well, we can't do that, then can we?
Largest countries in the world that still circumcises baby children, okay? This is ridiculous. I'm circumcised against my will. I didn't consent, and now I have to live the rest of my life with that decision that my parents made without any information, okay?
Why are you worried about if they cut skin off your dick if you want to be a woman? Or are you one of those asexual people? I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know. I'm not mad at my parents for having me circumcised. I'm also not mad at my parents for giving birth to me and letting me live through development stages in the womb. I have one hell of a life, baby. I got a good life story. 8 years ago, I was a fucking loser without a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. Telling me I'd have my dream car in my driveway, I wouldn't have believed you. Telling me I'd have a good relationship with my kids, I wouldn't have believed you. Telling me I would have put the bottle down, I wouldn't have believed you. Telling me that I don't have to go around stunting in nice cars that belong to family members, but told everybody were mine. You tell me I have my own nice shit now, I wouldn't have believed you. This doofus right here probably got picked on at school.
Was Rand Paul leading the charge, trying to fight against circumcision? No, he wasn't, because he's a one-trick pony. He doesn't care about the facts. He doesn't care about being consistent. But let's watch him try to bully a trans person.
Bully.
Child, puberty,
that's a word they like to use.
Sex hormones,
bully.
Or amputation surgery of breasts and genitalia. You have said that you're willing to accelerate the protocols for street kids. I'm alarmed that poor kids with no parents who are homeless and distraught, you would just go through this and allow that to
black
happen
kids
to a minor.
Again, the idea
black kids.
You're just going to go through it. You're going to have someone off the street, they're going to walk into a back alley somewhere, and then they're going to come out like, as if it's like a 6-hour procedure. It's a multiple year-long process. It's not like you just pick a 6-year-old off the street, and then put
we know this already.
In the alleyway somewhere, do a bunch of operations, and then shove them back onto the street. It's not like this guy is trying to concoct some bizarre narrative that's just disgusting. It's wrong, and it makes no goddamn sense. This is a multiple year-long process. If it happens, it takes multiple fucking years.
Multiple years of body conditioning, mental conditioning.
For Kira Bell, who's a 23-year-old girl who was confused with her identity. At 14, she read on the internet about something about transsexual. She thought, well, maybe that's what I am. She ended up getting these puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones. She had her breasts amputated. But here's what ultimately she says now. And this is a very insightful decision from someone who made a mistake, but was led to believe this was a good thing by the medical community. I made a brash decision as a teenager, as a lot of teenagers do, trying to find confidence and happiness, except now the rest of my life will be negatively affected, she said.
So again, you can find examples to the contrary for everything. Like, there are people out there, when you go into surgery and get anesthesia, that die because of
Right, Fahim.
or not being able to handle it properly. Does that mean we should no longer provide anesthesia to surgical patients? Oh, you got to go into the surgery completely lucid and wide awake while people rip your guts out and operate on you? Why? Because some people might be negatively affected. Yes, some people might be negatively affected. The idea to prevent that from happening is not to cut funding. The idea to prevent that from happening is to expand funding, to expand research, to expand the therapeutic kind of requirements going forward, to expand people's access to healthcare, not retract that, not to reduce it. If you want people to be in a more comfortable spot in their lives, you need to give them more options to be comfortable. You don't just say, well, one person had a...
How about mental counseling? Because obviously, and I'm just going to say it like this. Let's just say tomorrow, I wanted to be a white man. I want to identify as white. They could bleach my skin. They could straighten my hair. They could give me blue contact lenses. I could be a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white boy. But really, am I a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white boy? Because those contact lenses come out. The bleach was artificial. Is there more to being a white man than just the aesthetics of being a white man? Is there? Is there more to being a bitch than the aesthetics of being a bitch? Is there more to the aesthetics of being a dude than the aesthetics of being a dude? Well, of course. You got a little pecker between your legs. You're a dude. You got a pussy between your legs. You're a bitch. You want to be a bitch? Well, hell, I want to be a millionaire. And even that's something I'd have to work to forge. Because I have to put in time, I have to put in energy, and I have to put in effort. I wasn't born rich. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be a poor man than a rich bitch. Let's continue.
Negative reaction, therefore let's ban the whole thing. Should we allow that? I walk into a grocery store and I'm allergic to peanuts. Should I be allowed to look at the peanuts? What if what if someone opened the peanuts or whatever in the back room and then there's peanut dust lingering in the air? Oh no, right? Should grocery stores ban peanuts? I'm not actually allergic to peanuts, but my point here is, should you ban things just because a couple people might be negatively affected by their own personal interactions with that stuff? No. What you should do is you should
back up. 98% suicide attempts. Cancerous cells growing because the body, whenever these shits try to heal, these cells in place are wrong. Negative effects from the hormones. Just a few people. Bitch, are you out of your motherfucking mind? Continue.
As safe as possible. You should expand funding and expand access. And another thing, again, these kids off the street. Why do you think a 13, 14, 15-year-old trans or queer kid would be kicked out of their parents' home? Maybe because their parents are ultra-religious fundamentalist quacks like Rand Paul is, and they just...
like she probably had for parents. Like this woman probably had for parents. Let's...
is riding a bike and falls over and gets cut and scraped with a rock.
Now you guys can see the full Ron Paul video. I don't want to waste any more time talking about this. The full Ron Paul video, he went in, he said what he had to say, he dropped the bomb, and he left. This woman never answered the question. She just kept evading. Or he or it or whatever the fuck you want to call it. What's going on, Tune Pictures, man? Welcome to the Ricky Manor, the Melanated Rebel News Network, the new channel for now. You got to keep up with the website, and so you'll know exactly where we're meeting up at, because they like to shadow ban me for telling the truth. So here's the thing. YouTube just banned me back in December for giving what they call medically false information when talking about a certain subject, right? Right? But this woman talking about hormone blockers for kids, is that not medically deception? Is that not? But we're going to talk about that in the bunker. We're going to talk about that. Or we're going to call our website the battlefield, where you can see me live on the battle site, on the website. We're going to call the website the field. We're going to talk about that on the field. We're not going to talk about it here, because sensitive ears get to crying. We got these cancel culture vultures that can't take the truth. They want to label this as hate speech. My feelings are hurt. We don't want Ricky Manor influencing anybody else. Y'all motherfuckers make me sick. Oh, you motherfuckers make me sick. So let's talk about you motherfuckers real quick. Y'all want to talk? Let's talk, motherfuckers. First off, I got a vasectomy when I was 38 years old. Why did I get a vasectomy when I was 38 years old? Because no doctor would give me a vasectomy when I wanted one at 21. No doctor would give me a vasectomy when I wanted one at 25. No doctor would give me a vasectomy at 38. I had to lie to him. I had to make sure that I profiled my urologist. I had to go through the whole a spreadsheet of urologists by picture. I wanted the most racist looking motherfucker I could find. And I called him up one day. I said, I want a fucking vasectomy. I like to fucking, I'm very irresponsible. I got 8 kids, 5 different moms. He says, I can see you next week, Mr. Manor. These other urologists, well, let's talk about why you want to do this. You know, this could be a permanent thing. No. So if I couldn't make that decision at 38 that I didn't want to make any more babies, I got 3 boys right now. Why in the fuck a child could take hormone blockers till they decide if they want to mutilate themselves? Let's call it what it really is. And now this woman was talking about some religious quacks kicked their 13, 14, 15-year-old child on the street. That's very unfortunate. I'm not going to sit up here and say that it's right to kick your child out over any circumstance, right? Because that's still your seed. But at the end of the fucking day, if my child comes to me saying he wants to be a bitch, then it's time we go see a psychologist. A real psychologist. We might have to fly out of the country. It might be a little bit more expensive, but it'll be worth it to get it away from this goddamn perverted Western world medicine that says it's normal for sometimes little boys just want to be a bitch. Sometimes little girls want to be a dude. Now, if a child is 8 years old, a little boy is playing with a Barbie doll, that does not mean the boy wants to be a bitch. I'll tell you what it does mean that you better watch out for. And this is a good thing. You're dealing with an artist. If you got a little boy and he's taking clothes off of a Barbie doll and putting it on another, dressing hair and shit like that, you don't have a gay boy. He doesn't know anything about sexuality. You're dealing with an artist. So your next step should be going to get that kid an easel, some paper, some paint, some good pencils, and send them to an advanced art class. You got women, grown as fuck, over 21 years old. They could buy alcohol, but they can't get a hysterectomy if they want one. They can't get their tubes tied if they want it. The doctor encourages them to have kids. You know why they do that to adults? And they allow kids to go through this bullshit? They want sexual access to your kids. Why else would a grown man be worried about another man's little boy wanting to be a girl? Why? If you're 8 years old and you're a man or a little boy and you say that you want to be a little girl, we need to figure out who fucked with you. We need to figure out who fucked with you. We need to figure out what happened at church, what happened at summer camp, what happened under this roof. God damn it, if it comes down to it. This is the stuff we're going to be talking about this week. Also, before I go, I'm going to give you some teasers. What's going on at the border right now? Then I'm going to analyze Donald Trump's speech later on tonight before I go to bed. And I'm going to break that down and we're going to talk about that too. But this right here, this is perversion at its finest. And I'm going to tell you why. If I'd have told you 8 years ago that the ultimate plan is for our government is to put a Dr. Frankenstein, which is what we see, in charge of health and human services, you would have told me that I was a conspiracy theory nut job. If I'd have told you that these perverts in power were one day going to target your children for sexual access, you would have told me that I was a conspiracy theorist nut job. If I'd have told you that one day a transgender that believes in gender transformation medicine would be on a public platform in a manner to be taken seriously, you would have laughed at me. Now that we see this unfold in front of us, it's no laughing matter. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist nut job now, am I? Now, the crazy part about this shit is, and I'm going to say this before I bounce, I put down alcohol a couple of years ago. I probably had 2 cans of beer in the time that I put down alcohol. 2 cans of beer. 1 beer on a movie set that was around this time last year, and 1 beer after a rugby game. That was it. So, I put down the psychedelic drugs about 12 years ago. I don't smoke salvia anymore. I don't trip mushrooms. I damn sure don't fuck with acid. But it seems that since I stopped doing all of this shit, and somebody gotta help me out here because I feel like I'm seeing this shit and I'm the only one that's seeing it. The world is as fucked up as it was then, if not worse. Am I going through a trip here? I mean, do I not see fucking Chris Farley on the screen with a blonde fucking wig on? It looks fucked up to me as it did when I was on fucking heavy psychedelics. It looks fucked up to me when people actually are buying into the bullshit that comes from the speakers of the LGBTQE for etc. community that convinces people that right is left and up is down and down is right and black is white and whatever. It looks fucked up to me when the most powerful nation in the world is falling victim not only to tyrannical communism, but also when the Assistant for Health and Human Services is appointed to this ugly bitch, dude, bitch, whatever it is, E for etc. Who the fuck is really taking this shit seriously? I mean, damn. This thing is obese, mentally deranged, and more scary than that. The highest office in the land recognizes it to be worthy of any field in health other than a fucking experiment. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm not the only one that see this shit. This is disgusting. Slowly but surely, these motherfuckers are like cats. If you got a cat in your house, you know what I'm saying. Let's say you're sitting in your room or at the table and your cat wants what you got on your plate. You can shoo that cat away. That cat will come, look through the, peek around the corner and slowly creep its way back up to the table, waiting for that right moment where you're not looking to jump and eat off of your plate, right? That's what these motherfuckers are doing. First, they started with that old drag queen story hour bullshit, right? Some people was like, no, get away from my kids. Other people was like, oh, it's fine. These people are just different. Fuck you and your differences. Fuck you and your differences. Real talk. They back up just like a cat. What's the next move? We're going to force our will on people. Don't get me talking about how they forced their will on you, because it started on November the 6th. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, we're going to make this law and that law and that law, and this is who we're going to put into power. If you give your kids hormone blockers, or not hormone blockers, puberty blockers, and you say that you're a Christian parent, because I know who they'll get to do this. They'll get black people to do this, because black people are the most hypocritical Christians that I could think of. They'll sit there and go to church on Sunday and be like, holy, 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 God bless me, because they got 2 nickels to rub together and a fucking job to go to tomorrow. But let a fucking Democrat tell them to sin against themselves, their existence, and be a traitor to their own race. That's what they'll do. And they'll take these black people, because the black preachers say, yeah, it's okay. Because, you know, the black preacher is in their pockets, by the way. And they'll be giving these kids these medicines, weakening them, weakening the family further, like they do with everything else. Everything a Democrat ever do for you, black community, is to weaken you. It's not to help you. Name one thing they done to help you. One. To help you. Right now, they're trying to neutralize your vote. Why do you think they're caring about these kids in cages now more than they are you? We're going to talk about that this week, too. We got a lot to discuss this week. Tomorrow's just going to be day one. We're going to talk about how they're trying to gain sexual access to your kids. We're going to talk about this on my channel. We can't talk about this on YouTube, because it's going to get dirty. So if you haven't been to my channel yet, I want you guys to be tuned in tomorrow night at 10:15 p.m. right here. www.themelanatedrebelnewsnetwork.com, or you can just simply type in mrnewsnetwork.com. What's going on, The Real Sean Owens? So this is what we got right here going on. Tomorrow night, this is too hot for YouTube. We can't talk about this on YouTube. We got to continue to try to recruit our audience off YouTube. But we're going to get real dirty on the field. So that's what I got to say. I will see you guys on the field. But tomorrow night, we're going to start on YouTube, and then we're going to finish off in the field. We got our work cut out for us, Patriots. It's not for us, it's for our kids. I dropped some news articles over the last couple of days. Go to my website, check it out. It's free of charge. I'm not charging you a dime just to read a 6-minute read. So you guys can get a taste of what I'm all about. Other than that, it's time for me to go spend some time with my old lady. Get me a little loving before the week starts. Because if I don't get it, I go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Lack of sex got me going crazy. Lack of sex got me crazy. You know why I love sex so much? Because I'm a man. I will never tell God that he was fucked up for giving me a dick. Anybody that says God fucked up for giving me a dick should be me, because my dick got me in more trouble in my days than it should have. But it's still a great gift to have. So if you have a dick, enjoy your dick. Stroke your dick. Play with your dick. Tell your dick how important it is. Go to the bathroom, wash your dick. Lather it up. Wash it. And keep washing it. I love my hot rod. My old lady love my hot rod too. She lets me burn rubber on her track media days. But now that we're in a trusting relationship, I don't have to burn rubber anymore, if you know what I mean. She get to sit in the passenger seat. She get to shift the gears. The hot rod is awesome. It's fast. It's fuel injected. It's a 6-speed. Well, fuck it. I'm just going to brag a little bit about myself because I wear size 16 shoes. It's a fucking almost 12-speed, goddammit. And it's fast. And it's American made. It's a 1975 model. Back when they knew how to build them. And it's fast. And I don't let no dudes drive my car. Don't touch my car. Don't touch my hot rod. So I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow night. You gotta text the number to get the effort. Text the number. Add yourself to the Patriot Army text, so that way you know I'm going live. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, love my Jesse's hot rod for 20 years now. But she always talk about Jesse's hot rod. You know what? I'm not gonna doubt that man know what he doing on the track, if you know what I mean. Because every time you talk to her, she talking about my Jesse. Oh, wait. So, yeah, we know he shifted gears, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, with that being said, Patriots, I want you guys that's on, got a TikTok app, to reach out to a certain individual tomorrow. We'll text her name again on the Patriot Army and just let her know that we still have her back. You know what I'm saying? We don't do bullying. Nobody that rolls with us gets bullied. Okay? Remember, Patriots, remember, where we go one, we go all. United we stand, divided we fall. We got a busy week ahead of us. Looking forward to talking to each and every one of you. Right now, I got to go and soup my engine up, if you know what I mean. The hot rod's got to go to work. So, where we go one, we go all. United we stand, divided we fall. Ricky Manor out. God bless you all. I'm Ricky Manor for the Melanated Rebel News Network, signing off. Happy Sunday.